Jamaica is approaching a critical point in its history. We're at a point where Jamaica is going through one of the most promisable transitions in its independent history. There is growth, development, and prosperity in Jamaica's DNA, and the writings for it is clearly on the walls. However, this could be threatened by Jamaica's shrinking population. How do we overcome this potential danger and realize the prosperity we've been wanting and can fully achieve? Let's have the conversation.
The Jam Fam family. Jam Fam, come hang with me. Yeah.
Hello, Wagwan. Pick up yourself, whether you're there yard or you're there abroad. Welcome back to another episode of Life with the Jam Fams. On this one, we're going to be discussing Jamaica's downward or declining population and the threat that it could be to Jamaica's future and the prosperity that we're looking forward to realizing. So let's have this conversation together. Jamaica's population is declining, and this decline is influenced by a series of factors, and let's have a discussion about some of those. So factor number one is Jamaica's crude debt rate. So this is the overall deaths in the country, and this was 8.7 per 1,000 people in 2022 statistics. Now, however, the statistics is relatively stable compared to previous years. Although some believe that death through criminal activities might be a culprit for the mortality rate, Statista highlights stroke as the leading cause of death on the island. So number two, Jamaica's birth rate. On the same year, in 2022, this was 11.53. And this shows a downward trend of around 1.55% each year since 2018. This information is taken from Macro Trends. Jamaica now has a fertility rate of 1.34 births per woman, and this was in 2022. This information is from the World Bank. This is contrasted by 4.5 births per female between 1973 and 1975. Now, the third factor is that Jamaica has a negative net migration of negative 3.792 per 1,000 people in 2023, and it was negative 3.808 per 1,000 in 2022. This again is from Macro Trends. Jamaica has a high immigration rate, and therefore more people are leaving the country than those who are arriving. Although we have an increase in the amount of returnees or repats coming to the island, the trend is still not significant enough to compensate for those leaving just yet. Number four is incarceration rates in Jamaica, and these are currently 1.36 per 1,000 people, and this is from World Prison Brief. Although it indicates that incarceration is being used as a last resort, it is still removing working age individuals from the workforce, and hence it is being counted as one of the factors. Number five, Jamaica has always been a nation where women pursue education and training. Although some women also focus on family whilst building their career, as more Jamaican women prioritize their careers, less of them are choosing to have large families, if having children at all. And this, of course, is impacting the fertility rate as well as the birth rate in the country. Just to give some more context to the Jamaican demography, in 2024, approximately 13.9% of Jamaicans are considered to be 60 years or older. This is expected to grow to 16.8% by the end of 2025, according to a report done by the government of Jamaica. In 2023, there was 19.1% of Jamaicans who were between the ages of 0 to 14 years old, and 28% are aged between 18 and 29, and another 69.7% of the working age, which is between 15 and 64 years old, were accounted for a fraction of the population, and this information was gathered from GIS. This gives you a context of the Jamaican population, its demographic profile. Jamaica's leaders are very aware of this dilemma that the country currently faces, and here is a video clip explaining just that. We've used this clip before, however, we are using it again in context just to help to emphasize the point that Jamaican leaders are very aware of this fact.
There are also some demographic issues that we have to pay attention to. Jamaica is a fairly young population, but you know what? We're an aging population. And can you imagine that we're at the point where we're going to say that we need more labor? That is the reality for Jamaica. It's the same thing for Barbados. They've been thinking very seriously about how they can expand their population to keep the economy going. That's where Jamaica is right now, but the mindset of Jamaicans is still have to go overseas to make it.
The leaders of Jamaica are very conscious, and as such they are putting mechanisms in place to address these challenges. They are building out and improving hospital infrastructures. They are developing social care programs. They are using the National Health Fund and programs of advancement through health and education that you might know as PATH. They are using social housing, among other initiatives, to meet the growing medical needs and social needs of the aging population. A personal pension fund for all self-employed individuals, an additional pension plan for the corporate and other employed people to pay down, as well as for low-income workers to pay into for when they are 60 or 65 and retired, would be a great means of ensuring that people are preparing more for their retirement. This would also remove some of the burdens from public spending. And here is a clip of the Prime Minister handing over some social housing to some families who were in dire need for this provision.
While in St. Thomas on Wednesday, the Prime Minister delivered 3 more units under the new social housing program, the NSHP. The number of homes delivered now stands at 106. The beneficiaries, Keith James of Duckenfield, Dawn Cargill of Curtis Bottom, and Nimroy Henry of Harbour Head in Port Morant, all received keys to their new homes from Prime Minister Andrew Holness. During the handover ceremony in Curtis Bottom, Mr. Holness revealed that 20 more NSHP houses would be available for delivery in November.
If we are able to do 20 each month, you can see that the program will eventually get to all the people we need. If we treat with those that are really at the bottom, we would have improved the level for everyone in a fair way.
The beneficiaries also signed a social contract that comes with receiving the units. It outlines the duties and responsibilities of each beneficiary, such as the rules that guide maintenance and expansion of the houses.
Although traditionally Jamaican families care for their aging relatives with dignity and honor, more families are career focused and business builders currently, and this means that more social carers in homes are being used and more care homes are being established. However, this is still an area that needs more building out and more improvement, and this will happen as we continue through the years to come. Jamaica has a large number of practical nursing institutions that are training individuals for these and other healthcare roles to make use of these new career opportunities that are coming on stream in the country. Jamaica has a range of different educational pathways on the island. Education is relatively free. Training institutions like Heart NSTA provide skills training in a myriad of fields. Jamaica has several universities and university colleges, community colleges, nursing and teaching colleges that provides training at high standards. Statistics suggest that 80% of Jamaicans with tertiary education who are living outside of Jamaica were trained in Jamaica, and this information was gathered from International Organization of Migration. Jamaica's global migration has been decades long and for varying reasons. Some are for educational, medical, economical, family reunification, among other factors. Some people are always believing that life is going to be better elsewhere and opportunities are to be found, and that's fair. However, the fact is that some migrate and find success and others migrate and find nightmare. Even those that find success do so at grave sacrifices sometimes. However, everyone should have the chance of migrating if that's what they desire. Having a government bond for all Jamaicans to work and serve in their country, whether in the education field, in healthcare and other areas of the society, is one that I've long believed would be a great initiative. It allows others to appreciate the process and the conditions others work in and learn to appreciate structures as well as use their initiative to make the suggested improvements that are necessary. This in itself will not stop migration. It might delay it, but definitely not stop it. Laws that favors entrepreneurial initiatives and greater ease of doing business, global studies in school to break down some of the inherent misunderstanding that leads to migration, and increase understanding of global affairs would be more advantageous, or equally something to do in addition to ensuring that there are initiatives that are bonding Jamaicans here after tertiary education. Teaching more about business formation and money management and government operation would assist in smoother implementation of revenue structures for the government to then invest back into social structures and infrastructure. And this is currently happening in secondary schools on the island. Maybe an international visit program for adolescents aged 15 to 21 could be established where Jamaicans in the diaspora with businesses offers to host a Jamaican child for a summer so that they are given the opportunity to see real-life experiences in foreign countries, to understand the construct of those societies and see ideas that they could bring back home to implement. That could be a great exchange program for young people that might reduce the urge to migrate. An increase in business establishment and scaling those businesses would increase employment. And certainly, the employment basic wage needs to be radically changed. Currently, Jamaica's minimum wage is 375 Jamaican dollars, and it will be increased to $400 in June 1st of 2025. Oftentimes, we compare minimum wage in Jamaica with that in Canada, United States of America, and the United Kingdom. And that is somewhat of a disadvantage given those countries' economies. So, to make it a little bit fairer, let's look at the perspective of what minimum wage looks like in other Caribbean islands. So let's start off firstly with the minimum wage that is paid in Trinidad. And all of these are going to be in Jamaican currency. So the minimum wage in Trinidad currently is 475 Jamaican dollars, and these rates are per hour, just like the Jamaica one was per hour. In Barbados, it is 665 Jamaican dollars. In the Eastern Caribbean, generally, it's on average 525 Jamaican dollars. In the Bahamas, it is considerably higher than what was mentioned in the other countries, where it is 1,030 Jamaican dollars. And in the Cayman Islands, it is 1,140 Jamaican dollars. It is worth remembering that Cayman Islands and Bahamas have some of the highest cost of living in the whole Caribbean region, and Barbados follows quickly, and also the Eastern Caribbean islands. And so from the ones mentioned here, only Trinidad have a lower cost of living than Jamaica, according to numbeo.com. With all that said, I do believe that the minimum wage in Jamaica should be at least between 500 to 750 Jamaican dollars in the increase that's coming. Unfortunately, it's going to be 400. However, we can see that the government intends to increase this and continue to increase it because they are equally aware that it needs to be better. Jamaica is charting an upward pathway as the country is transitioning. It is the perfect time for innovation, collaboration, growth, and development. Jamaicans at home and in the diaspora has some important decision to make in realizing that waters and experience may separate us, but that can be a strength in our shared knowledge to continue the building of our nation. The government of Jamaica has numerous initiatives to enhance the collaboration between Jamaicans at home and abroad. Some of these are the Global Jamaican Diaspora Council and the Global Jamaican Diaspora Council for the Youths as well. And in addition to that, we've got Jamaican Diaspora Institute, we've got Joint Select Committee on Diaspora Affairs, we've got the Jamaica Task Force Action Network, and the Jamaica Diaspora does a lot for Jamaica, and we spoke about some of those to extent on the effect black tax has on the Jamaican diaspora. These are all measures that are being taken to engage with the Jamaican diaspora and seeking to bring more of them home so that their productivity can be utilized here. And this would add to the efforts that are already taking place to make Jamaica the prosperous nation that it is capable of becoming. Together we can create the Jamaica that we desire to see. Tell us in the comments below your view on this subject, and we look forward to having that healthy conversation in the comment section. We do celebrate Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread, and it's an 8-day celebration for us. So we've done Passover and the Passover ceremony, and we're just going to share some footage of that with you here. And if you want to see our preparation for the period, then you are free to go over to Eliona's channel at Life with Eliona to watch our full preparation. Of course, it's an 8-day festival where the first day of it is the Passover, then we have the Feast of Unleavened Bread going through, and then on the last day it's the Feast of First Fruits, and so we celebrate all of that. So it's going all the way to the 20th of April on the calendar. So that's the big celebration. Do you celebrate Passover? Please tell us in the comments below.
So this is the bread and this is the non-alcoholic wine. The scripture reading comes from 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 24 to 26, and it reads, "And when he had given thanks, he brake it and said, 'Take, eat. This is my body, which is broken for you. This do in remembrance of me.'" Verse 25, "After the same manner also he took the cup when he had supped, saying, 'This cup is the New Testament in my blood. This do ye as oft as ye drink it, in remembrance of me.'" Verse 26 and last, "For as often as ye eat this bread and drink this cup, ye do shew the Lord's death till he come." Thanks be to God. Now, as the ceremony states, this is the bread that we take that resembles Yeshua's body.
Thank you.
This is the wine that resembles Yeshua's blood. So that concludes our Passover ceremony.
And we're going to now go have dinner, which is unleavened food. So you've already prepared us to not have unleavened snacks, so it will be fine. So
I've now entered the Jam Fam kitchen. So we have our chapatis, yes, we have some more on the stove. Over here we have our stew, some curry chicken, and over here our brown stew. And this over here rolling out the chapati dough on our kalu. And yes, and we'll see you for the Passover ceremony.
And this is our Passover meal. Chapati, brown stew chicken with kalaloo for myself, and chapati with curry chicken and kalaloo for Eliona. So we just did the leg and thigh boneless and make it that way. So it tastes a lot better than when you just do the chicken breast. So we prefer to use that when we can. Bon appetit! And for those of you who celebrate Passover, happy Passover.
The Jam family. Where living the good life. We're royal, cruising through the West Indies, having fun, enjoying the good life. Jam family, the Jam family, yeah. Jam fam, come hang with me. The Jam family. Jam fam, come hang with me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The Jam family. Jam fam, come hang with me. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thank you for staying with us here on this another episode of Life with the Jam Fams. We look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now. Take care.